Hello Professor and students. This is Group 3 Reflection Videos. This is our team member Minh Nhật, Khang, Minh Phúc, Thanh Huyền, Diễm Hương and Việt Anh.
Five minutes later.
Bro, are you serious? You just took like 10 pictures in the last hour.
I know, but it's fun, isn't it? I don't understand why I keep checking it every 5 minutes.
That's exactly the point, man. You're hooked, and that's not an accident.
Wait, what do you mean? It's just an app with random photos and connect with friends.
Nah, that's actually a strategy. Lockets planned it that way. They designed the app to feel personal, to make you form a habit. Every time you lock your phone, boom, there's a tiny emotional connection waiting.
So you're telling me that I'm addicted is a part of their business plan?
Exactly. That's how companies grow. And speaking of plans, let's back down on the strategies planning works at a company level.
Okay, you ever wonder why some small companies grow into billion-dollar corporations while many companies with great products still fail? The answer is often lies in the company's strategy. So today our team will explain it in the simplest way possible about a company with strategic planning in 4 steps.
Good.
Hello. Now let me introduce you to the concept of strategic planning. First of all, strategic planning is about developing and maintaining a strategic fit, which need balancing in companies' goals, companies' capability, and changing in market opportunities. This fit is difficult to achieve, but however, it is a key to long-term success. There are 3 types of plans in the companies. First is annual plan, referred to short-term and focus on current objectives, purchase, and activities to keep the business running. Second is long-range plan, which is medium-term and preparing for the company and for the future. Last one is strategic plans, which represent for the long term and the big pictures that helping the company to adapt to a challenging environment and align resources with opportunities. So are you curious about how does planning work? So at a corporate level, the company first defines its overall purpose through a mission statement. Then this mission is translated into detailed objectives. For example, the business portfolio helps decide which businesses and products to focus on and how to allocate support and resources. Next, at the business and product level, managers create a detailed marketing and departmental plans for each business unit. And then finally, at the product level, marketing plays the key role by identifying specific market opportunities and support the overall strategy. Now let's turn to an important part is defining a market-oriented mission. Well, it includes 2 parts, which is product-oriented or market-oriented. A product-oriented mission is what we focus on what the company makes for the customer. And second, a market-oriented mission is what we focus on the customer need. For example, Nokia said that we make mobile phones that refer to a product-oriented mission. And second is Apple. They said we bring the best user experience through innovative hardware, software, and services, which is referred to a market-oriented mission. This is so how mission and vision are connected. The mission defines what we do today, while the vision describes what we want to go in the future.
In Learning Objective 2.2, we talk about the concept of a portfolio. A portfolio is the collection of products and brands that make up the company. For example, in Unilever's portfolio, label is one of its key brands. So when we say portfolio, we mean how a company manages its different products and brands together to create overall strength. Portfolio analysis means evaluating a company's products and businesses to see how they perform. We do this through strategic business units or SBUs. An SBU can be a division, a product line, or even a single brand. The main goal of strategic planning is to leverage the company's strengths so it can seize attractive opportunities in the market. In other words, companies analyze their portfolio to decide where to invest, where to grow, and how to stay competitive. This slide shows the process of portfolio analysis. Step 1 is to identify the company's strategies, business units, or SBUs. This could be divisions, product lines, or single brands. Step 2 is to assess the attractiveness of each SBU. This means looking at factors like market growth, competition, and profitability. Step 3 is to decide how much support each SBU deserves. The company may choose to invest more, maintain, harvest, or even divest. This process helps companies allocate resources more effectively and focus on the areas that create the most value.
Hello, Professor. Today I will explain Learning Objective 2.3 Marketing's role in strategic planning. First, marketing provides a guiding philosophy, also called the marketing concept. This means that a company's overall strategy should revolve around creating customer value and building profitable relationships. For example, Apple focused on user experience and customer loyalty when developing products. Their marketing philosophy is not just about selling phones, but about building long-term customer trust. Second, marketing provides inputs to strategic planners. Marketing helps identify attractive market opportunities and assess whether the firm has the ability to take advantage of them. For example, Netflix analyzed user action data to expand original content in international markets, such as Korea with Squid Game. Finally, marketing decides strategies for each business to achieve its objectives. For example, Starbucks applies localization strategy in Vietnam, focusing on cold products and work-friendly space. So in short, marketing is not just about promotion, it sets philosophy, provides insights, and guides strategy at all levels of the company.
Okay. In this part, I will be presenting Chapter 2, Objects 4, which focus on marketing strategies and the marketing mix. First, I will talk about the customer value-driven strategies. A strong marketing strategies start with creating value to customer. To do this, the company use the SDP process, which stands for the segmentation, targeting, differentiation, and the positioning. First, the segmentations mean dividing the market into smaller group of people who share their similar need, behavior, or characteristic. Um, the targeting is about choosing which of those groups the company can serve best. Uh, After that, differentiations is about create something unique that set the product or service apart from competitors. And finally, the positioning is the way the company wants customer to think about their products in comparison to others. Yeah, using STP strategies, yeah, companies choose which customer to serve and what value positions to offer. Once the target market and positionings are clear, companies design their marketing mix to deliver value. It's often summarized as the four P's, which stand for produce, price, place, and promotion. First is products, which is referred to what the company offered, not just the physical good, but also service, features, and the overall experience. Second is the price. Is what customer must give to obtain the product. It could be money, time, or effort. The third is place, which is referred to how the product is made available to customer. Um, and finally, promotions, which include all the activities the companies use to communicate values and persuade customer. Yeah, it's important to note that their topics are not separate decisions. They must work together as an integrated system. And when integrated properly, the marketing mix can deliver company value propositions and help build long-term customer relationship. Yeah, of course, the company doesn't design its marketing strategy in isolation. Several factors influence this decision, like company goals, competitors, market environment, and the customer needs. Um, yeah, to sum up, SDP help you decide what to do, and the 4Ps help you make it happen.
Hi, Professor. Today I would like to present the objective 5 of Chapter 2, Managing the Marketing Effort and Marketing ROI. First, marketing management involves four major functions. The first one is analysis, where companies carefully study the markets, customer, competitors, and the external environment. The second is planning. This includes setting objectives and strategies, usually summarize the current situations, SWOT analysis, objectives, strategies, action programs, purchase, and control measures. The third is implementation, which is about turning strategies into real actions. It is often the most challenging stage because it requires the coordinations and commitments across the departments. Finally, we have control. This includes operating control, which checks day-to-day performance, and strategic control, which ensure that the company is moving in the right long-term directions. Next, let's talk about marketing organization structures. Companies can organize by functions, geography, products, and market. However, a modern trend is shifting towards customer relationship management, which puts customer at the center of the structure. Lastly, we focus on the marketing ROI, return on investment, in which today's business environment, accountability is essential. Marketers must prove that every dollar spent generates real value. Return on investment is not only measured by sales or profits, but also by the customer central metrics such as satisfaction, loyalty, and long-term relationship value. In short, we can say that Objectify highlights that successful marketing requires good planning, careful executions, continuous control, and an adaptive organization, and above all, the ability to measure the marketing effectiveness through the return on investment. That's all.
Moving on to chapter 3, we'll be talking about how all the factors and forces can affect how well the company can serve its customers. So, in objective 1 of the third chapter, we have two types of forces that can affect how well the company can serve its customer. First one is a micro environment, which basically means how it is the forces that are close to the company, like competitors or like the company itself. And the next one we have micro environments, which is the societal force, the bigger societal force that affects the company. Let's go back to the example that we talked about in the introductions, Uber and Grab. So we know that Uber is actually a global company. It exists in a lot of countries. And back in 2018, when it came to Vietnam, one of the biggest competitor that it has was actually Grab. And we were talking about the microenvironments of those two. So first of all, we have the company itself. So what does it mean by the company itself? So we can see that Uber is a global company. They will have a global strategies. Compared to Grab, it is a global one, so it adapts faster to the Vietnamese culture and habits, so it understands the needs of the Vietnamese faster compared to Uber. Next is competitors. We know that they are both two competitors. While Uber cannot adapt fast, and they cannot like have a partnership with a lot of companies in Vietnam. Uber actually more aggressive in Vietnam. Like they offer promotions, discount, and bonuses for both driver and riders. Next is suppliers. Suppliers in this market is actually the driver itself. So what do I mean by that? So the driver in Vietnam actually find the Grab more supportive with better incentives and localized policies. With Uber, they have a strict commissions model and less personal driver support, which makes many drivers change to Grab later on. Next, about micro environments. With micro environments, I want to talk about Netflix. Netflix is actually an application to make kids shows, and one of the main forces in microenvironments is the demographic forces. So demographic basically means the age and the family size, or like just about characteristics of the populations. Since Netflix understands that most of the people who watch Netflix are actually kids, so they invest a lot of money in the shows that have kids content, because many households have children. Next one is the technological forces, like Amazon using AI recommendations. Technologies create new ways to serve customer. Amazon uses artificial intelligence to recommend products based on the browsing history of the customers. And it actually increases sales. So technologies decides which companies lead to market. Natural forces, we can see that Tesla is actually promoting electrical cars, which is actually healthy for the environment. And it shows that they care about the environments, which makes people who actually care about environments and will buy those eco-friendly products. So companies will mostly likely adapt to sustainability for people to buy their products.
Now we move on to part 3.2, which is about the macro environment. When we talk about the macro environment, we mean the broad external factors that can influence a company but are often beyond its direct control. First, by definition, it is the study of human populations, such as the size, density, location, age, gender, race, and occupation. This is important because people make up markets and demographics directly shape demand. In addition to demographics, the macro environment also includes economic, natural, technological, political, and cultural forces, all of which can create opportunities or challenges for businesses. After defining the macro environment in the previous slide, let's now look at two of its key components, the demographic environment and the economic environment. Starting with the demographic environment, we see changes in family structures and roles with more diverse household ties emerging. The workforce is becoming increasingly diverse and population shifts are happening. For example, growth in the west and south of the US, while the Midwest and Northeast are declining. The workplace is also changing. The trends like telecommuting and home offices becoming more common. At the same time, markets are becoming more diverse not only in terms of nationality and ethnicity, but also with greater visibility of LGBT and disabled communities. Now, moving to the economic environment, consumers today are more cautious in spending, which makes value marketing, the right mix of quality, service, and fair price, very important. Income distribution is also shifting. The rich are getting richer, the middle class is shrinking, and the poor often remain poor. These trends directly affect how businesses position their products and services.
Hello, Professor. Today I will explain learning objective 3.3. Let's begin with the natural environment. The natural environment refers to the physical environment and natural resources needed as inputs by marketers and affected by marketing activities. Some key trends include, firstly, growing shortages of raw materials. The second is increased pollution. Thirdly, increased government intervention. And finally, developing strategies for environmental sustainability. For example, Unilever reduced plastic packaging or promotes refill stations. Similarly, Apple used recycled aluminum in MacBooks to reduce dependency on raw materials. Next, let's talk about environmental sustainability, developing strategies and practice that create a world economy and planet transport identifiably. For example, Nike promotes sustainability by using recycled polyester and reducing water use in shoe production. And finally, the technological environment. Technology is the more pragmatic for shaping the marketplace, creating both opportunities and challenges. Key factors include product innovations, digital transformation, and also safety and ethical concerns. For instance, Apple recently launched the iPhone 16 with advanced AI features, changing the way consumers interact with their smartphones.
Yeah, in this part, I will be covering chapter 3, objective 4, which is about the political and cultural environment and how they affect the marketing decision. First, I will talk about the political environment. The political environment refers to laws, government agencies, and pressure groups that influence or limit what the organization can do. First, it is legislations. Around the world, governments have been passing more laws to regulate business practice, especially to protect customers, promote fair competitions, and preserve the environment. Second, there's a government enforcement agency such as uh, the Federal Trade Commission in the U.S. or the Customer Protection Departments in other countries that actively monitor and regulate business behavior. Finally, companies today are expected not only to obey the law but also to act in socially responsible and ethical way. Many businesses go beyond what is legally required, adopting codes of ethics, sustainability program, and fair labor practice to build trust with customers. Now, let's look at the culture environment. Culture influence how customers view themselves, other people, and organizations. There are several important cultural trends today. The first one is technology-driven communications. Some social media, mobile devices, and online platforms have changed how people interact and form communities. The second one is declining trust in traditional institutions. Um, Many customers have lost confidence in large corporations, governments, and media, so they rely on peer-to-peer recommendations and online review. Um, the third one is rising patriotism. In some countries, customers show stronger support for local brands and products. Um, Beside that, there's a growing concern for nature and sustainability. Young people now are more environmentally aware and seeking environmental and social responsible brands. And the last one, there are shifts toward meaningful value. Yeah, many customers are focusing less on material possessions and more on well-being, health, and experience that add value to their life. Yeah, to sum up, marketers must understand and adapt to political forces that regulate and constrain them, while also keeping pace with cultural shifts that reshape customer belief, attitudes, and lifestyle.
Hi, Professor. Now I would like to present the objective 5 of Chapter 3, how companies can respond to the marketing environment. In general, there are two main approaches. The first is passive approach. In this case, companies see the marketing environment as something beyond their control. They simply adapt to change, avoid threats, and seize opportunities when they arise. The second is the proactive approach. Here, companies do not just react but actively try to influence or shape the environment. For example, they may launch campaigns to change consumer perceptions, lobby for new regulations, or innovate to shape new market trends. Next is the role of marketer. Marketers therefore act as trend spotters and opportunity seekers. They use marketing research and intelligence to carefully analyze the environment. By watching customers and competitors closely, they can predict trends and prepare in advance. Then I realized that there are some key recommendations. The key takeaway is that whenever possible, companies should be proactive rather than passive. By doing so, they can capture opportunities early, reduce the risk, and build stronger competitive advantage.